Alright, so today I'm going to be ranking every single running shoe I've ever ran in. And so today we have some shoes I would recommend to pretty much anyone. And there's some shoes that I would not give to my worst enemy. I mean, actually maybe I would. But, so yeah, we're going to go from worst to best. We got the shoes here. If you already know what these are, awesome. If not, I'll tell you a little bit about them and my experience with them. And we've had more than 4 pairs of running shoes before. But I mean, I put some of them in the back of my trunk, and let's just say the water got in and made them a little moldy, so I kind of had to throw them away. But that's okay. Anyways, let's get to number 6. So number 6 on the list is going to be the Nike Zoom Gravities. Now guys, this shoe was very, very bad for me. Barely ever ran in it. Only ran like a few times in it, maybe 10 at the most. This was a terrible shoe because the way the heel was designed, it like kind of curved in a little bit. And I don't know if you know what heel bursitis is, but it's when the heel of the shoe rubs against the back of the foot a lot more. And I took, I think 10 days off of running, maybe 2 weeks. I could never wear these shoes. I mean, they just hurt so much to wear. If there is a plus though, I did break 19 wearing these shoes for the first time. So that was a pretty big plus, but other than that, I spent like $130 something and I could not even run in them that much. Did not get the return on investment I expected. Therefore, number 6 on the list. Number 5 is going to be the Nike Downshifter. And if you guys don't know what the Downshifter is, well, that's probably a good thing because this is very low end. For $60, you get what you pay for. It's a pretty basic shoe. I ran all my easy runs, all my tempo runs, all my races in the shoe freshman year, and even a little bit of sophomore year. I got size 9s actually the next year, but my feet didn't grow into them, so it was kind of awkward having a shoe that was a little too big. Anyways, it lasted about 7 to 8 months, so I mean, it wasn't the worst shoe for me. Just if I try to run in those shoes now, it wouldn't make any sense. Alright, number 4 on the list. This is actually going to be the first shoe that I would probably recommend to people who are just getting into running or just starting high school running or something. Actually not that bad of a shoe. The Saucony Endorphin Shift. The reason I don't run in it anymore is because this hard cushioning right here. This is not cushiony. If you like a lot of cushion on your runs, this is not the shoe for you, unfortunately. But it is a highly durable, highly effective daily trainer. Also the laces and the heel kind of were messed up, but that's stuff you can look past. Saucony colors, they never disappoint, which is one reason I like Saucony. But if you're willing to spend a little bit of money and get a nice, dependable trainer, I think this shoe is a pretty good option. It works for some people, works for most of my teammates. Just for me personally, in my running style and how I run, it just wasn't the best shoe that fit. And one more thing, so I ran in the shoe twice, and as you can see, my left foot, it started to tear. I actually tried hot gluing this part back down, but it didn't work, and as you can see, you can basically see inside the shoe from right here. But it's probably just because this shoe and I, we didn't work the best together. And this is a close one between second and third right here, but for the third best shoe on the list, I'm going to go the Saucony Endorphin Pros. Now, don't get me wrong. I love this shoe. It's amazing, and I still run in it pretty often. It is a very dependable shoe. Cushion, I love it a lot more than I love the Shifts cushion. Not very bendable. Saucony shoes are not the most bendy shoes in the shed. But yeah, this shoe has been with me for a while, and it's been very dependable. The only reason it's number 3 and not number 2 is because I haven't used it the most. It's definitely a very good shoe, and it's also more spendy, so I wouldn't really recommend it to people. Great shoe, just couldn't beat number 2. Alright, number 2 on the list is going to be the Brooks Adrenaline GTS. Got a hair on it. It is, I think, a stability trainer, so like if you're having a bunch of injuries, I think this shoe would help. It was during cross-country season, and I developed like that heel pain I was talking about, and it had also caused some knee pain, just like the whole lower body was a wreck, and the season was starting, so I couldn't really stop training if I wanted to have a good cross-country season. So it was my birthday, my mom took me to the store, and she bought these for me. Didn't like the colors at first, but it did grow on me. Lots of cushion initially. It does wear out after about like a month or so, which should be expected. But these shoes lasted me a long time. Lots of cushion, lots of stability. So for a shoe I'd be running in every day, I will get good return on investment in it. You still don't have to pay 140 bucks because number one on the list, the Nike Air Zoom Pegasus. We ran 37 and this is 38. And yeah, this is 38. 39s just came out, but they're out of stock on Nike, so I'm gonna buy some. That's gonna be my next running shoe. But why is this number one? Well, first off, it's not like the Next Percents or the Vaporflies, Alphaflies, but it is very dependable. I know lots of pros use it, lots of high school runners. It's probably one of the most common running shoes out there. Nike does really good job marketing their shoes. One thing I have heard though, one downside is you have this Air Zoom pocket about right here and the foot, and it does make it a little bit more bouncy, which I don't really care about. But if you run, you can actually pop the airbags like you can on other Nike shoes. Overall, I really don't care about the airbags in the shoe. I think it's just fancy and Nike's just trying to, I don't know, impress us. It's not really that impressive though. I'd rather have like some good like Zoom cushioning. Lots of cushion in the heel. Midsole is really good. I think the heel drop is probably the most out of any of these shoes. But I mean, it's still, it lasts. It's harder to go faster than, like, we were doing sprint on the track the other day, and I just couldn't keep up with my teammates. Like, the acceleration just really isn't in the shoe. If you're looking for a speedy tempo shoe, this is not it. But if you want a shoe that you can do pretty much everything in, this has got to be it. And if you guys have any suggestions for me, like any running shoes I should try out or buy someday, would someday love to, like, review shoes and like test out new shoes on the channel. I think I'm gonna stick to the pegs for now just during high school, so I don't like switch up my training too much. But I don't know, if you guys have any suggestions for me, I'd love to hear what type of shoes you guys run in, what shoes you like, what shoes you don't like. I would love to interact with you in the comments below. But yeah, that's about all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.